That's interesting. I don't know if they're sharing it with everyone. We've seen captions.
There has been success in getting, I think many institutions are getting accessibility successfully added to their thing. Not necessarily we guarantee it, we'll indemnify you against claims, but we'll use best efforts to do it, or we have a timetable. So some kind of, accommodation to accommodations, right? In terms of, are they implementing, I think, like if you have Canopy or whatever and they add captioning, like they have no reason not to put that to everybody, but if it's something that is more specific to you, like, and your, agent will also contact us, that might be the kind of thing that would tend to be more individually specific, I don't know. Or, we want somebody we can call for accessibility reasons, right? I don't know that you'll be able to, everybody have to negotiate for that until they set up an office for it.
So, a question about the Marrakesh Treaty. This might be kind of a cynical question too. So, it sounds like the Marrakesh Treaty is great for other countries that don't have the resources that we have, and don't have the standards that we have. Can you talk a little bit about the benefits for us? What do we get out of it? And I think where I'm going is there anything in it that we can use for lending within the United States?
Oh, intra Marrakesh lending? Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it would so Marrakesh would be signed, ratified, we'd implement it with a statute here in the US, and that would enhance the lending. So that non-dramatic stuff would go bye-bye, that other stuff. So we would actually be able to enhance our ability to provide captioning and access to accessible copies to the print disabled in our universities, in our libraries, in our educational institutions. And it would untether that Chafee amendment from being so narrow to much broader.
And
yeah, go ahead.
for scholars in specialized areas, I don't think that we won't benefit from other countries sharing with us either. I think that we will find that over time, it's just getting started, but I think that this will open up fields that have been very difficult to pursue if you had disabilities because they're more specialized, because they maybe primarily exist in locations where there haven't been as many provisions for how to do this.
And I think in terms of, resource sharing, it provides, it expands Chafee a bit, but it also solidifies the broad reading of Chafee, right? Like right now, we're like all puffed up about Chafee. Yes, we can do this, right? But, it's not textually extremely clear about, all the stuff we can do. That's like our affirmative, strong reading of it. And I think 121A will really bolster that, right? And so then it just kind of creates a much stronger ambit of protection for accessibility related work, and not having to worry about copyright in that. And the sort of the sharing of the metadata and the sort of the additional versions. Like if you create an accessible format of something, you shouldn't have to delete it and then recreate it, right? And so I think this gives us more cover for that kind of sharing as well.
So I think we have time for one more question.
All right. Carly, you want to go see what game tonight?
Just on the question of putting into your vendor contracts to have them do the captioning, for instance, are they legally able to do that under what I thought I saw earlier, which is that non-profit institutions are legally able to do that?
Sure.
What's the status of pushing it on a vendor who is arguably a for-profit entity
right.
to do that?
Well, we're hoping that the vendor is the creator, or at least the owner.
Not necessarily. I mean, I think that either you're hoping that they're the creator, but I also think that when they're buying the rights, they should be buying the right to caption it, and that's not entirely your problem. Like I would just say negotiate for it, and then if they have to pay more to buy the rights to caption it, that should be the cost of business to them to some degree.
Yeah, I mean, so again, if the vendor is somehow the creator, writer, or technically the author under some transfer, they can caption all they want. It's their stuff, right? So, and again, I feel like it's less about I got a hand caption this now, and more about software and automation that can help aid them in that. But certainly, I guess in cases where the vendor's kind of a middleman, that's going to have to be introduced in their business model in order to do business with communities that care.
But I I could be wrong, but my sense is not that you have to pay a lot more to buy the rights to also caption something. My sense is that people just don't think about it or don't bother to include it.
It's not even on the
necessarily.
radar, yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of things have already been captioned for other purposes and then aren't necessarily captioned in the streaming service.
Mhm.
And so a lot of it is just making sure that those files are transferred, that they reach the accuracy they should.
Or that they access those files, right? A lot of these are like crowdsourced, you know, in some cases they'll be created and they'll be publicly available, you know, and the company just needs to get them and bring them in and actually just do the technical work.
All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
I know, now I feel like pretty good.
Oh my God, I was starting to navigate.
So I think we're going to take a couple of minute break as we reset. All of the presentations that you've seen today will be available online. We'll be sending out more information. We are recording the session, and we hope to do captioning for the session as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about